It's taken over me. It got me feeling free from who I used to be. Was blind, but now I see. I gotta blame it on the poetry. See, I've only acknowledged the 5-year journey of making peace a priority. But the silence whispers tales of old before my pen birthed bravery to release cries of molestation hidden in poems like Innocent Blood and Dolly House. I pull the ace now, the curtain is down, and all you gotta see are these hidden scars neatly tucked behind this beautiful smile. See the wisdom? The wisdom found on the edge of my lips came at a price. So eat the honey that drips from these words slowly, for I am and forever will be quick to listen and slow to speak. But when I do, eat the words that spew out, eat the words that spew out, eat them deep within your soul. Let the words I spew out sink deep into the roots and feed the part of you that longs for nourishment more than a physical touch. See, I learned that F stands for freedom found after forgiveness. E is everlasting love and eternal life. For A, I will acknowledge and accept the consequences of my actions. R, remind myself that I will never, ever let fear rule over me again. Sometimes I just gotta remind myself that fear will never, ever rule over me again. Maybe it's just me. But I think that poetry is a woman. I say this because she or it will never allow me to go through anger without a traumatic or without a dramatic reaction, even if the words never find their way off each page and into my mouth. She forces my hand. She forces my hand from left to right, just to write so we can release how we truly feel. Because even if I never told you this to your face, I'm telling you, you're going to read this, but sometimes, sometimes you can just be an ignorant idiot. Whew. Those words still feel good coming out of my mouth. And I'm always going to say this with the biggest smile. See, because even though my hands still shake as I recite this piece, I guess I'm not done releasing the anger within. So here we go again. Let's take it from the top. You said my English was advanced. What exactly did you mean by that? And even though I never found the words to actually articulate or found the way to form them in the right way, I failed to find the words to even get through what I was feeling. I really wanted to allow the violent colored chick act to take the wheel and be everything that they say I am as a colored woman with a black label in hand. I tried. So yes, I am African. And yes, I speak good English. And I apologize. I really apologize if I really apologize if I didn't fit the shoe of African poverty and illiteracy that you were sold. Because contrary to what you may think, you only thrive because of the land I walk so boldly on. And yes, we will continue to master the tongue forced upon us, for this is the art of breaking the back of a giant. So I'll blame it on the poetry just this one time. Maybe it's the poetry that's taken over me. It's got me feeling free from who I used to be. Was blind, but now I see. I gotta blame it on the poetry. And that is poetry's fault.
God.
That is poetry's fault. That is not me. I did nothing. That is poetry's fault.
It's a beautiful piece. Oh my God.
You know, I remember
absolutely stunning.
Somebody once saying, are you the one using the gift, or is the gift using you? And I was like, oh snap. I don't want to use the gift. I want the gift to use me completely and utterly. Every form of gifting that I have or talent, I want it to use me, use my face, use my hands, use my voice, use every part of me. So that's the ultimate goal. And thank you for that response.
Oh, I mean, so eloquent. If I could just cut in, like you and Stacy have the most powerful way to tell somebody off, or else you would have just slapped them. You know what I mean? And I feel like the poem is much more effective. Right in the gut. I love that.
Yep. I think if Miss Stacy, I think she gave birth to a kid out in South Africa and just left me here. She just abandoned me. She don't want to claim me.
Stacy is a Rolling Stone. I mean, I don't even know. Where you been, Stacy?
Where you all are talking about me tonight, I don't want to claim any of you. It is a little
Oh,
late for that. So
wow.
I love you all, but you know,
My heart
that's
is
all
so
I'm saying for
broken.
right now.
I'm so
It'll get
hurt.
deep later on.
I'm traumatized. Never be the same again.
Not nearly as traumatized as I am, honey, right now, believe. Sing your song, girl. Sing your
Let
song.
me just be quiet. Snap. This those are not pieces that are in the book. Those are pieces that have always just been lingering around and somewhere. When I was promoting the book, actually, that's when we got into that conversation, and that lady back channeled me, and she said I speak good English because I was sharing a piece, and I was like, oh, thanks. So, and that was in 2022, not 1992, 2022. So this is actually a piece that was also a response piece to somebody that published a piece, and unfortunately it made its way to me about Africa and the situation when it comes to poverty and world hunger and all that stuff. And the piece was just terrible. Very beautifully written, but the narrative was terrible. It was disgusting. So I had written my response piece. I never ever said, I said it in the same room as that person. But I'm that, as you say, like Sandy Shake said, we, those people, I don't think that would ever go up to someone and just smack them. Would probably just like humiliate you in front of everyone and you wouldn't know it. So that's cool. It's an inside joke for me to laugh at later. So this piece is entitled "A Kid in the Corner." This is a piece in the book. Oh, speak when spoken to. Keep eye contact to a minimum. Never linger in a room in case it be mistaken for expectancy. And though you are free, every footstep taken will be accounted for. Every bite taken from a burger as a reminder of how privileged you are, yet you feast off the crumbs fallen from the table of sympathy. Dressed in hand-me-down clothes with mismatched buttons and a hole in each pocket, a reminder that he is not your equal. He will never be your equal. And though he stands in the corner of the room, strong in his arms, life in his legs, but his eyes cry fear. His heart seeks hope, and his mind fixed on how to escape a world where poverty is always attached to ethnicity, where poverty seems to be attached to ethnicity. His silence may be confused for submission. The same way your charity is confused with generosity when all it is the process of keeping face. Ensure that others see the pennies that you throw into the collection box, then yodel from the hills, I donate to the poor kids in Africa. Yet you ignore the poverty at your doorstep. You brush off the man sleeping in a box on the street corner and the pregnant woman next door being beaten night after night. But poverty and violence are only found on the streets of Africa, right? Right? See, but that kid in the corner, The one with the crusty face. Can you give me some money, please? Kid in the corner. The kid in the corner has no knowledge that every picture taken is bought and sold as the face of African poverty. Poem. And that's that poem. I always wondered what happened to that kid that was always on, on international TV, because this was a conversation that came up with another friend of mine when we were on a private call. I was like, we never saw those adverts on South African TV. I don't know about the rest of Africa, but I never saw that adverts on South African TV. I saw a lot of American TV and Western TV programs and some local Afrikaans programs growing up, which was post-apartheid, but I was like, I never saw that kid. I never saw the adverts where they were asking for money. We wanted to know because a friend of mine was making that joke, and we're not saying there isn't poverty, but we laughed, and a friend was like, they said don't throw that away for the poor kids in Africa, and he's eating a huge piece of chicken. And he's like, which poor kids in Africa? You know, so it was a thing of not to slander, but in the sense of saying there's poverty everywhere. Why does it always just have to be Africa? Why does the crusty faced kid always just has to be Africa? Like, nah, it needs to stop.
100%.
Yep.
Because let me tell you something, okay? I could go to Skid Row and send you a video of some crackhead that needs about 50 cents more, and it would not represent the rest of humanity, okay? But if we're gonna be real, that's LA. You can go to Hollywood and I'll send you another video.
And that's the crazy part. Those are the conversations that we don't have. And that's why with poetry, I wanted to open the door for those conversations to say, yes, we also have gangs here. We have drive-bys. Africa has drive-bys. You want me to take you there? I can show you if you want the proof. I'm not gonna go myself, but I can take you there. I'm not responsible for what happens after. You know, but we have drive-bys, we have gang wars, we have you name it. There's been a gang war happening since before apartheid happening in Cape Town. You know, there's areas that we have that are dilapidated, and people like me that are colored people that are always at the bottom of the food chain, which is sad because I'm not Black. But if I go to the US, I'll be Black. I can't wait for that when I touch ground and be like, yes, finally, I'm no longer just, you know, floating around somewhere. But during apartheid, and that's always a conversation we have locally, is during apartheid when we needed to fight for freedom, they said we need everyone. We need Indian people, we need Asian people, we need Black people, we need colored people. But then when apartheid was and the new government was taken over, the new ANC government had taken over, it was totally different. We're like, okay, colored people, go back to where you're from. Go back and be the drunkards of the nation. Go ahead and be the crackheads of the nation. Go ahead and be the wife beaters and loose women and all those other things that we are sold as. You know, so we were sold the wrong end of the stick. So there will be always, these poems will always be here surfacing. So I'm gonna finish off with this one. I think this is my most violent piece yet. The other one, I'm still working on a few other pieces, but I don't want to release too much because we are also in studio, and there's projects that will be released every week as well on YouTube. So you can check that out as well. That's more like flowery vibes. This is entitled When They Come For Me. When they come for me, let them take this God-given shell. Let them prove that words still hold power, and my pen, bird's gale force, wins every time it kisses paper. Let them continue to think that I am defeated. Let their small-minded, short-sighted, ignorant faces gloat over the shackles placed over my hands and feet, failing to see that my heart and mind fly free. Let them know that Charlotte McClellan made me do it. The first Black woman in South Africa to obtain a university degree, Respark the seed within to thirst for knowledge once again, the mother of Black freedom. Freed my mind to never settle nor blend in, so I will raise my voice and tell the stories of the elders. My conscience is clear of all sin. I spoke my truth in each poem of 30 years of deluded democracy. When they come for me, let them know I fed off the strength of the mother of the nation, Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela, the face and force behind the anti-apartheid movement. Detained, tortured, banned and banished, yet raising above with the words, there is no longer anything that I fear. There is nothing the government has done to me that isn't or hasn't already been done. The pain that I have endured. If they dare come for me, let them know, or let them be sure to understand the consequences of their actions. Because in case they forgot, wathinta bafazi, wathinta imbokodo. So ask yourself if you're ready to go bare knuckle backyard fighting with this poet, because the muzzle is off and so is my filter. And I never ever feared death, only its timing. But when they come for me, all fear will be lost. I will stand tall regardless of my height. My voice will never be silenced. I will dig deeper into the shadows of untold stories, pulling them out by tooth and nail. Tell us again what happened at the Sharpeville massacre in 1960. See, you may try to silence my voice, but my pen will speak of the blood spilt in silence, breathing life into dormant pens, stirring up a tribe of poets unapologetically free to say exactly what they need to say. I know my name might be forgotten, but my pen will speak. My pen will continue to speak, and my teachings of love and truth will forever be a legacy worth passing down the line. And my daughters will know I never flinched. I never ever flinched at your hand, nor begged for your mercy, coming from a bloodline of strong African women, always ready for a fight with the Bible in my right hand and the pen in the other. Come for me. Come for me, I dare you. Poem.
Oh my God. Miss Anderson, open your mics up. Come on, don't make me be the crazy one. Jesus Christ.
Good Lord, woman. Why you want to hurt the mic like that?
Oh my
That
God.
was, oh my goodness. That was unbelievable.
I mean, let me just tell you a little secret. I grew up with so many brothers. I'm obviously the only female and not very good at it. And I feel now being part of Tesoro, when I hear my poet sisters, I just have to hold on and like, oh my God, I related to them. So it's like I pinch myself every single time. And I know how much fire y'all carry. And I still am like flabbergasted. Kimberly, that was amazing, as everybody knew, obviously. Oh my God.
Thank you so much for the invite. Thank you very much for waking me up so early in the morning. It's always a beautiful thing waking up in the morning.
Says you, we're all in shock. Actually, Stacey's party's hard, so I think she goes to bed around 4:30 sometimes.
I'm good. I got my herbal tea, some chamomile and apple scented tea. I'm good. I gave up coffee for tea, which is the best decision because I feel refreshed. I feel good because I know after this, I also got a few things to, like I got another event to go to later on. So I'm ready. This was a good kickstart to my morning. Thank you so much for the invite.
You guys, open your mics up. Oh my God. The strength to just sit through this and not cry or like flip my desk over. This is just with everything. Oh my God.
Kim, I definitely want to say you are a morning person for sure. So yeah, good stuff with your poetry, man. I'm always like a big fan of your work. So man, words cannot really express just how powerful and how talented like your your flow is, like your poetry, your work of art, God's gift to you, you know?
That's right. That's right. 100%. I second that. Yeah. There is something beautiful being born or raised out of concrete or dirt in situations where you have to grow your own flowers amongst the chaos and the violence, Kimberly. And I think your pieces will forever speak for that experience. And I thank you for sharing pieces that brown and black little girls like us needed growing up. You know what I mean? Because the truth gets hidden. And once they try to buy a city block, they beautify it. But there's a lot of pain still there. And I think your work will forever heal that. And I am so happy that we got you tonight. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. Shaki Chi, what is going on? Don't go to sleep. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm excited. I have the mic list up. I'm gonna have Kimberly take a little bit of a break so she can breathe and chill and enjoy. And I have a few people that signed up. Let me put y'all on here. And anybody can spit also if you feel inspired afterward. Okay. This is just a lineup for now. And then I'll add later. Okay, so I don't know if everybody was here in the beginning, but we have the pleasure of having a brand new flower child in Tesoro, Miss Rita, the rap poet. What's up?
Hey y'all. So excited.
Welcome, welcome. You are up on the mic, so you can do what you do, and then we'll pass it on. You could read 1, 2, or 3 pieces, whatever you feel like doing tonight.
Okay. I had planned on doing one. So let's see how this one goes. All right. This is called Dark Den of My DMs. The message slipped in my inbox, like clouds slip over the sun. Light dims and your pulse slows. You feel your breath in your throat, scratching the walls, a foreign, unknown entity. A lost soldier feeling his way around in the dark, something trapped, fighting to escape. My literacy escapes me, maybe only my ability to comprehend. The letters swirled in the pot and spelled out a spell. You will always be my first love. The quiet storm continued in quite unrequited tones. I wanted to tell you I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. A knife slicing through time. It cut me open like a fish. I can feel my insides spilling out. My everything I have ever been. A rush of cold adrenaline, feeling every feeling I have ever felt. Painful memories sown like seeds in a dark field of dreams. Reading and rereading to ensure it's not just a thought that caught fire into reality. It's a shackled ghost that finally broke free, escaped the prison in my mind, lost in time, drinking down the sobering realization that I still fiend for that feeling. I miss the raw intensity, like someone wanted to own me, body and soul, savor every ounce of me. Someone who is greedy for me to take me in with every sense, like he can't get enough of my taste, my smell, the very thought of me. Remembering I never hated someone that I loved so much, that playing with his words was like playing with matches, strikes against my skin, leaving burn marks. But I was addicted to the intensity of that flame, deep, base, carnal feelings that always exist inside you that can only be triggered by the mixing of catalytic chemicals, the crazy, angry shouting that ended in crazy, angry funking, the addiction of that feeling of leveled, heightened energy. It translates back and forth between anger and climax. Your anger translating to me hating myself. You destroyed me as a sport or because you felt destroyed inside, and still the word no didn't make sense on my lips. It never sounded right in the language we spoke to each other. But nothing was ever enough for you, and I could never give enough to fill your dark, cavernous ocean floor. The depths of your intensity were a reflection of the depths of your abyss, and I stood there at the edge of it and stared into the endless emptiness, and I knew I would never be enough to heal your hurt, which you masked with masculine pride and a mischievous smile. What has been taken without permission can never again be given. Sometimes, when the beautiful heirloom breaks in half, the two pieces just don't fit back together. It will never fit, no matter how much glue you use. The last line of his note read, "You broke my heart." And finally, I responded, "You broke the place I existed from. You broke my faith. You broke the girl I once was. She doesn't live here anymore." And that's that piece. Ooh, it's hot.
Finger snaps all the way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. I know where I've heard her before, and I was like, oh, I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
The Soto in the house.
So,
Okay, here we go. I have, let me see, what do you want to go by? I have the LKN poetry.
Lakan.
Let me pronounce that correct. Go ahead.
Lakan.
Lakan. Okay.
Yeah.
The mic is yours.
Great. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share. I'm Lakan, and I'm from Pilipinas, or in English, the Philippines.
Filipino. Yes, I love that.
Pinoy. And what I'm going to share today, I wrote this piece when an organizer of an event insinuated that I should water down my rape. Yes, it happens, people. So this is my response poem. It's called Quest: Shuns. Quest Shuns. When I share about rape, should I wish my rapists taught me how to water it down lower than ignorance? Is bliss of softening trauma, can it feel so good? Like how they try to shush me when I try to scream for help. Rape is in the forced silence, like a grope of fistful censorship. Isn't rape always felt beyond the skin? Should I wish rape didn't make me feel numbed in my brokenness? Have I become their figure of their speech? Should I color it more with metaphor? Find a silver lining, like a Hollywood blockbuster, a saliva full of sunshine shoved at my throat, watering it down like a drowning, pressing storms and bedquakes with a pause of shut up? Should I wish rape mentored the words I spill to not offend, disturb, playing words harder than how they tinkered the holes they made in me? They look like punctuations, to puncture senses? Should I say sorry for the sense of honesty in the stories my poetry makes? Should I wish my rape told me how to apologize to the rainbows and unicorns that don't exist? Being a victim, getting by with lies, is an irony I have to live by. Should I acclimate my poetry with a bit of sunshine, like a fine weather of line breaks? Should I break up pain like lulling stanzas? Should I wish rape was sensitive, like a hush, to fit a replay of pressed on lullabies? Should I rewind rape like it had a fairy tale waiting at the end? A justice of surviving, a death all survivors would have to live with. Is rape just a dead half-assed, a semi-penetration of bobbing heads, a somewhat fluent depiction of violation, an enjambment, hanging a civility to civic, filtered like an approved dictionary, to create a literature of musts and should, commanding the validation of imprisonment, shackling me to the perceptions too far away? Should I wish rape guided me on the distance between criticism and critique? Should I unbutton my literature like I'm a colony on a page and the stage? Should I wish rape didn't burn the children's books in my body, or the spotlight of my childhood's innocence? They were all raised of judgment I cannot reclaim. The collections of my ruin is all I have. Should I let others' consideration to fill my library then? Maybe the reviews should just write themselves. Maybe my rape is too ignorant, being bold. Expressing the truth is too felt, too dark, too much. Should I give consent to others to dictate how rape should be told? But isn't that what rape really wants for all survivors like us? Weakened. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much.
Who comes back from a whole disappearing Houdini act to this? Who does this?
For real.
It's been
Thank
a
you.
minute since I've seen Lacan, and whew.
Thank you for sharing that.
Such a powerful piece. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, very powerful indeed, you know. I appreciate the vulnerability in that piece.
Okay. I am gonna add, we have a newcomer to our lovely open mic. I have Mr. Juan Mito. Welcome, Juan. Welcome to Tesoro.
Can you hear me now?
You're a little low. I don't know if you want to volume that up.
Can you hear me now? Because you couldn't hear me when I first came in.
We can hear you. It's a little soft. I don't know if you could like project or maybe put your volume up a little bit.
Okay. Yes, because I have my volume at its highest now.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay though?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for the welcome.
Anytime.
I really never participated in a group like this, so I had a few questions as to how and who participates and what's it all about. I know it's about poetry on open mic and singing songs too, right?
Yes, yes. This is a safe space. And so please share. We don't have many trigger warnings and we accept everything that is word, and honors the spirit of poetry, you know.
Okay. Well, if I could share a poem, or a little bit about me, I'm a poet that likes to write, you could say old-fashioned poetry that rhymes. And some of them are long and some of them are not, very short, just a verse. So I've seen that some of the poets here are reciting poetry that's it's not rhyming poetry. So at some groups, I've heard that some of them don't like to hear rhyming poetry. But if it's okay here, I would like to share something with you all.
Please go ahead.
I am from San Diego, California. I live presently in Playa Tijuana, which is about 30 minutes from San Diego. And that's where I usually participate in reciting. Okay. So here's the poem. As you walk along a path, don't forget all of life's trails will contain a little mixture of good and evil together. This is the way the Creator has presented us the challenge, calling upon us to choose from good and evil among us. I hope you choose to do good. Evil only brings us sadness. But you can see the example of good and evil together in the course of human love. When you buy a lovely rose, trying to bring your lady's happiness, as she takes the lovely rose, she gets injured by the thorns.
Thank you so much. That was lovely. And we always appreciate people coming on to Pen and Sword and giving us their best, which you just did. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I sent
Sandy?
you a pen and sword. I have a pen and sword poem and a pen and sword drawing that I actually put together
Oh,
as a prophecy from biblical prophecy. I don't know if you got it or not. It was in your messenger.
yes, I did get the message. Thank you.
Okay. So maybe next time I'd like to share that one with you all. Since this is called Pen and Sword, and I also have a Pen and Sword drawing and Pen and Sword poetry. Are you guys getting together every Friday? Is that it?
No, this is a once a month deal.
Okay. So it's only
So since I have already spoken to you on Messenger, if you will send me another note on Messenger giving me your email address, I will put you on our mailing list so you know when the next event is going to be.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Sandy has stepped away for just a minute.
So,
So it is.
does anybody
you-
else have any spoken word? Because I could probably recite something else as well. Or I could
Darling,
also
if you want to
wait
hop
till.
back on the mic, that's mellow. Do your thing.
Okay. Well, one, I just want to make sure I give a shout out to Mr. Best in the World 84, who's in the chat. He says he's not able to hear people. I think if when you join in the stream, not StreamYard, Zoom, I think I click join audio, and then you'll be able to hear Mr. Best. Oh wait, I
Mr.
forgot it.
Best,
Well,
this is not StreamYard. Remember that, hey? This is not your house.
but I forgot he won't be able to hear me. But anyways, yeah, I could recite something. Okay. Let me remember how this piece goes. The title is called Rise, and it's a 16-bar verse. All right. We rise on up, giving birth to hard soldiers, swift like the wind, but stronger than big boulders. Justice is served for all is taken over, so duck can cover, because war is not over. Line up for battle, but rather chill out and not let the evil take my place out. Strong and faithful, yes, and grateful. Merciful master who saves souls faster. That's where I want to be in reality. Conquering the world, save the people's families. Joy to the Lord with a smile on my face. Ruin Satan's plans, giving him disgrace. You know where we be in the scenery. Sitting lost like slaves in the penitentiary. We moving up to God's embassy. Soon you'll see. Why were you in the fire of Christ? Oh, and then the hook goes like, elevate your mind. It's time to rise. Meditate on the scriptures, line for line. The only thing in the scene that could save the soul by elevating your mind. It's time to rise. Rise on up. Rise on up. Then rise on up. But yeah, it was a good old classic back then.
Let's go, M3.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very, very cool. Thank you for sharing. Okay, here we go. M3, is that two people logged in?
Say that again, man.
Is that you with two logins, or Mr. Best in the World, somebody else?
Is me who's watching. Mr. Best, he has his own account. He's watching as well, but he said he can't hear anyone in the in Zoom.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
But he's here to support KMA, just like I am.
Awesome. Very dope. Look at you, Miss Anderson. I love it.
Yeah. Hold on,
Okay.
I'm sure I turn my camera on. But yeah, that's me, by the way.
Oh, hi.
Hey. So
All
this is
right.
a wonderful event. I just want to let you guys know I'm definitely grateful to be a part of it.
Oh, no. Thank you for supporting Kimberly. I mean, she's all the fire. We're just trying to fan the ashes a little bit over here.
I'm
Yeah,
in my
I
element. You'd swear I had a whole bag of sweets early this morning because I'm weak when it comes to sweets and caffeine. So I'm in my element.
Hey, you up like what? What time is it now? Like 2:00 in the morning on your side?
It's actually 5:22 now. We
5:22.
1 hour in.
Like I said, you are like the man. Can nobody beat the more person like you, Kim?
I know. No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. Mic is open. Let me see. I can do one. Let's do one. Another scribble scrabble. Just because I like hanging out with y'all. Here we go. For a little girl, based on Mexican folklore of this woman who lost all her children to the powers of the river or drowned them. Here it goes. Mic check, okay? Okay. Who will hold the little girl when this world has labeled her as La Llorona? To all the little mujercitas just hitting 5 years old that have realized their mommies are not like those on TV. They realize their daddies are mean and will torture them until they learn how to act like a wife. Expect their little arms to reach stoves and sinks and serve and serve. Make the beds when their little legs could not reach. Yell and destroy the bed unless it was made military style. The father was not in the military, but he liked to know and practice torture techniques. The little girl cried in private as she walked the streets looking for her childhood. She knew the Llorona story and wondered if she met this lady, would she adopt her? And would that solve both of their heartaches? If one day this little girl met the Llorona, she would hold her and dry her tears. Her 5-year-old training would surely impress her and promise to keep her house clean, her food warm, and her bed so tightly made a quarter would bounce from her sheets. In return, the little girl would ask, would you love me unconditionally? and forget all that this world has made you lose. Because you, Señora Llorona, are the only one who promises to give me back the childhood that would heal me. Thank you. Gracias.
I swear Tesoro has the best female poets ever.
Okay. I know I was away. Thank you. In the party. Let's see. I want to read one about I want to read one more about God, and then somebody else read something more uplifting. Okay. Here we go. What if God left a long time ago? Y aquí nosotros sentados esperando, we sit like a forgotten kid warming up the steps, trying to morph into concrete so that our hearts do not bleed the disappointment. And the one who created the universe forgets to text again. No phone call, no DM, just steps across these barrios. Forgotten 4-year-olds will one day be cruel to their inner child, but Diosito no está aquí ni allá. The answer to never belonging to any one nation is living with one arm across fronteras. Guilty fronteras where both governments have stolen souls. Natural born killers on indigenous born children. Maybe the borrachos were right, the drunks. And getting close to the heavenly one is drinking an adios, closing your eyes before the blue liquid transforms you into something less godly. Because if God was just one of us, I'd like him to stop and do better. See something, say something. No más callado como menso. We have plenty of those, but el gran señor has yet to show me how special he is. I need a miracle. God damn it. Why don't you show up for these kids? Make AK-47s disappear in the shooter's hands. Que no eres el mero mero, un cabrón not to be messed with. You are what terrorists claim when they blow up planes after all. I know you've heard them. Now prove it is not you who felt insecure and needed a comeback. Make violence stop so that our babies don't need bulletproof desks. Show me proof that you have a plan for us all, that you don't need any more bloodshed in your name, that you left the cassette tape in the deck while you were on break. Please tell us, Buddha is back to correct all the fuck-ups our substitute teacher made. But first and foremost, tell us you're sorry. Tell us we were right to turn our backs on you. Submit your resignation letter and recommend us a leader that we can believe in again. Amen.
So
Great stuff.
disrespectful.
That's why my mama don't take me to church. But I come to my own church with the poets. Okay, here we go. I have Miss Stacy Dyson, and then I have a beautiful Filipino back on the mic. Let's go. Miss Stacy Dyson. ¿Cómo estás, señorita?
Don't even start with me.
Oh my God, rude.
After all the smoke that I have had to swallow
Get
in the last hour.
Oh my God, I'm gonna go fly to, another continent and pick up Kimberly because I'm a little scared of you. And then we will deal with you.
Only a little.
Don't get me involved in that mess. I'm scared. I'm scared of that woman. I love her deeply, but I'm terrified. In all honesty, I love her, but I'm scared.
Okay, then I'll just stay in Africa, and then you can't find me, Miss Stacy.
Don't get Africa involved in all of this. On behalf of all Africans, Miss Stacy Dyson, we apologize.
Oh my God. Well, from the
You all
Mexicans from
are
Chicago,
so
I don't apologize, Miss Stacy.
that's okay. Okay.
Bring it
I
on.
got
Bring
you.
it on.
I don't even with y'all. Okay. It is all so dark and dead in this house without you. An incorrect silence draped like indigo moods across my life. Hot, sullen nights like you. But tonight it's raining. And I can't let the hurt go long enough to stop my head or heart from aching. The sky shakes while I play my music to keep brave. Alicia Keys testifying on how she falls in and out of love, an option I can't even get to because my love is all that and constant. While yours flies like 186,000 units of indifference and baby, just tonight, no promises. My table is scattered with roses and poetry, thorns biting my hands, salved with blood and salt water. My headache screams like the police car sirens chasing the dealers from their end of the street past my door, and the rain is rattling on my roof like gunfire from the street 8 blocks down and left, no, right, where the crack hose and drug deals go down. But every story told in thunder tonight is your last kiss. Lightning says my prayers for me, silent and alive for just a moment longer in your arms, and the rain cannot stop. My head drumming in time with my heartbeat because the phone is ringing and it might be you, but I can't move because it's raining and I can't stop and my head hurts. The phone is ringing and my head can't stop wishing for my heart to stop the pounding on my roof, on my windows, on my soul, washing away your smell. The last goodbye you gave me. Your footprints on the street outside my door, and the phone is ringing, and the rain can't stop. I can't stop. Thunder and lightning dance together in a passion we will never know because I can't make the rain stop. And you don't want to. And then for the second one, I walked into a meeting a few days ago. Hung back, introverts do not walk up and mingle. Walked into the meeting room, smiled, and began the torture of introduction. The brown and black folks repeated my name, smiled, gave their names, hugged, nice to meet you. Me encanta corazon, all was mellow. One of the white women stepped to me. Hold on. I know you think you know what's coming, but I wasn't even ready for this. She stepped to me, extended her hand, gave her name. I gave it back, said mine, smiled. I said it clear, did not stutter, stammer, or whisper. She smiled again and called me Susan. I repeated my name, smiled again, and got again Susan. When I politely, gently, firmly corrected her, I did not stutter, I did not stammer, I did not simper, whisper, or shy away. Her response was something I had heard of, but never had happened to me. What she said was, well, I can rename you. That's okay. And it wasn't a question. I had to sit and breathe for a minute. I had to sit down, breathe deep, and think for a minute. I had to sit down, breathe deep, think for a minute, and not follow my first inclination, which was to leap onto the conference table, take off my earrings, and see that my girlfriend has some Vaseline I could borrow. Truly, I didn't know whether to be more hurt, angry, or insulted. Because here's the thing. I've spent all of my life keeping level, or at least trying. I have spent all of my life advocating for knowing which battles to fight, baptizing myself in the blood of reason and urging others by example to do the same, only to be betrayed by all that time, all that calm, all that be reasonable when some white woman looked me dead in my face and told me I can rename you. And no, she did not say it like a joke. She did not apologize and make the correction. She did not excuse her offense, bad manners, abject ignorance. She said it as a fait accompli. He said it as if she owned the right not to be inconvenienced. She said it as if she owned the right to dishonor the intention of my parents, who did not stutter, stammer, or misspeak when they gave me my name. And yes, it is a big deal. And yes, I still feel the sting of her privilege landing on who I am. I felt the condescension. I felt the dishonor to my ancestors, slaves whose true names were changed to be made easier to bid or forbid, dehumanized, claimed as property, easier to break down. I remembered the stories of Native elders sent to reservation schools, given other names to standardize, demoralize, erase history, train memory of life beginning from when they said, bring them to a God that wanted them humble and subservient. I saw the indescribable pain in my friend Pablo's eyes. I heard his voice shake, talking about being tied up and left in a closet for hours, slapped, starved, shamed for being brown children who would not answer to their Anglo names in class, who called to each other in Spanish on the playground and were told they would not fit in, were too stupid to learn, needed to be normal, had to erase heritage to be given the right to exist. Family lineage, pride, honor of ancestors, part of who we are, how we came to be dismissed, thrown away, ignored, beaten out of people to make them humble or less dangerous. So yes, it was a very damn big deal that this white woman said, I can rename you, and walked away laughing. I bet she didn't think about it for a second. Let it cross her arrogant, privileged mind, flow her role for a heartbeat. My standard threat to folks who get on my nerves or cause me pain, make me ache with wanting to hurt you, is keep it up. I'll write a poem about you. So here's your poem. I can't call your name because I don't remember it. How's that for irony? When you hear this, I want you offended. I want you embarrassed. Yes, please be sick at heart. I don't care if you didn't mean it. I don't care if you thought it was funny. I just don't care. Don't even think about coming to me, eyes and feet tear stained. Keep your fragility to yourself. I am out of forgiveness for that particular sin. Wars have been fought over the right, the necessity, the honor of wearing the names our parents gave us. They did not stutter, stammer, or misspeak. You had no right. So take your privilege and your fragile feelings and your Susan, hold them up real tight and shove them hard, deep, and pointed somewhere I can't be bothered to see your ignorance run in your mouth.
Woo!
What?
Don't fuck with writers. I mean, I cannot tell the public if you do not want to see yourself in a poet, in their pens, in their work, and we can just refuse and not acknowledge that it's you, and then you're crying, and then here we are.
And you say you don't fear that? I fear that every day of my life. I think 3 times before sending Miss Stacy a message. I gotta always come correct. Every single message is, hey, Miss Stacy. I'm so terrified I can't even call her by her name.
All right.
just buried somebody's daughter. Oh my God. In that poem, she buried them, pulled them out, cremated them, and threw the ashes somewhere, not even in the ocean.
Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God. Okay, so I have. If that was it for you, Miss Stacy, and obliterating that female soul, we will move on to my Filipinos.
Woohoo! Okay. I have two pieces. Actually, it's cool that it kind of is going to the direction that the two poets before me have paved for. The first one's called The Planting Season, and this is for the tribe of Batad that I lived with twice, actually, for months. And this is for them. In the rice terraces of Batad in the Philippines, only the hands that can bear life can humble their gifts of devotion to the earth, our first mother, like an unending thank you, celebrating each finger to bow 4 inches lower than our ego on the soil, as roots find home out of the womb of the mountain, to be certain the futures are founded firmly on dreams around the paddies of today. It has to hold. It has to hold. Smiling at the sun, those palms of the goddess stretches, releasing the stalk to learn how they can stand on its own grace beyond the season's gaze, as the field of womanhood sculpts the folding stairs of hours, forming a golden trail of labor. Traditions are birthed to rise, flourishing into a harvest under these ladies' unending care, to love, to persist, creating generations of centuries of how to be grateful, to sow, to grow, to know that we have all become the caretakers of tomorrow.
I love that. That's so beautiful. Oh my God, it reminds me of, I saw this somewhere, I read it and it said, be who you needed as a child to be, or something. Like, I totally killed the quote, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. I remember a couple of years ago, I was fighting for indigenous rights here in the Philippines, and I actually asked the dean of the University of the Philippines, and I asked him on stage, do you own this country? Do you own this land? I think no one owns it but the future.
Oh,
We're
wow.
just its caretakers.
Yes. So we need to stop fucking it up so it doesn't go.
Yes, actually, yes.
Seriously.
I have another poem,
Yes,
and
go ahead.
this, is that okay?
Yeah.
This is actually for every single poet or people who would want to explore poetry more. It's called Stuffed. When you're a poet with 300 pesos folded like a bookmark in your wallet, going to a gig in Manila is like flipping a menu. With fingers rolled sideways, they curl like a reminder I'm spending for a luxury. Literature becomes a privilege. Brave enough to sate hunger like words will be enough to feed the word passion. I love suffering. I'm a masochist. Sadism said my grumbling feet and callous stomach, both tired of being emptied on the slots I have to slut for. You know, open mics can be a brothel, yeah? Revealing nakedness, reveling how I strip a production's bill off with an entree fee. Art is free, apparently, when it's not free. Being a depraved, at least I got a beer for dinner, in a corner around cliques that clicks a name like I'm in a ticker. Favorites always go first. Loners like me are leftovers. Packed to a 5-minute midnight snack, a filler to tie an event over, giving nobody's like me a nibble of a set that I actually call a gastronomy. To have my poems swallowed like I'm a 7-course set menu, even if really I can't afford a 7-Eleven meal after, which is just 30 pesos. I exit with a smile, knowing I got my poetry fix as my body walks on Timog Avenue. Aches and being famished keeps me company, but the joy in me is satisfied. Because for one night, for that night, the privileged to say is within me. I could actually tell myself, I'm a poet. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much.
Yes. Oh my God. If I didn't tell you how many times my broke ass, I mean, there is no monetary value, and I've had this conversation with Stacy on filling up the space that a mic heals in your heart. You know what I mean? And I mean, if you need to eat some noodles and go to the show, go to the show. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Okay, we have some friends who have joined us. I have put the on deck. I have our feature going up and blessing us. And then I have Miss Rita, who would love to do another piece for us. And then anybody who wants to go up can go after that. I will put the mic back to where it's gonna catch flames. Go ahead, Miss Kimberly.
Thank you very much. You know, I wish I could get such things in my life. I wish someone could, you know, when my daughters see me, I wish they could also catch flames, because they're always testing me. The poetry community is the only ones that give me respect.
Yes, girl, yes. My son does not give a shit what I do. He's like, so are you gonna give me a snack? Because I don't know what you're doing here.
Like, my daughters are excited though. They're like, oh yeah, we love that you do poetry. And then after that, they just do their own crazy things, you know, and I'm like, you guys don't see me. You don't fear me. And then they're just like, this woman, she
They
talks.
will, but they will, Miss Kimberly. Once they see your book and they're like, wait a minute, is that my mama? Oh my goodness.
They were very excited, you know, when I came home with the package. And also there's a whole story as to with that as well. It was terrible. It was traumatic. Everyone had received their books when we had printed, but I was the only one that hadn't received my package yet. So I was waiting. Everyone is showing videos in our group of the unpacking part of the Red or Green Books collective. And I'm like, where's mine?
Where you like, Miss Marissa Prada? No, just kidding.
And it wasn't even on her, it was just because of the South African system when it comes to
Oh, right.
the rolling out of
stuff.
the books were stuck at customs, and
Oh
they're like,
God.
no, you gotta wait. And I'm like, oh no, I was literally crying on the phone to someone. I'm like, please, can I have my books? So I'm grateful though that I eventually got it. So I'm going to share this last piece, and I'm probably just going to sit and enjoy the rest of the poetry that comes out. But this is entitled The Roaring Tree. This will probably, it's a new project that we're going to be recording as well and collaborating with a few local artists. You can call us weak, might even think we're worthless. You can doubt our strength, even challenge our intelligence. You can push us aside, even try to hide us. But our history speaks of all the blood spilled before us. You can push us aside, even try to silence us. But our blood will speak of all the ones who came before us. Of all the ones who fought before us, of all the greats who walked before us, of all the greats who wrote before us, of all the greats who died before us. We are the Black architects, the history makers of our time. We shape our own destinies. We are young and we are free. We are the Black architects, the history makers of our time. We shape our own destinies. We are young and we are free. See, the crime scene found beneath our feet of all the injustices carried out by hate and greed. For when they saw her lands, they saw generational wealth, but the roots of these baobab trees hold the tales of untold stories and betrayal and massacres. They absorbed the blood that was spilled deep within her trenches, and now the blood speaks. It speaks, refusing to lay silent, while embraced by the richest soil, and one mourns and the other one granted freedom. One granted freedom to sink deep into her depths, nourishing the life in hope to see a future where his trunk is not under threat due to premature death, and his roots have no limitations with every truth tucked deep beneath each layer. His roots embrace the remains of ancestors whose spirits are now unrested, whispering their tales as the winds blow and bow. His branches bow to the winds, and the roars get louder. See, for the bones speak of a land of peace, unity, and understanding. I know it sounds like a myth now, but it was a place where kings and elders met, where our ancestors once rested. Now all that is left is a crime scene of wars won and lost, and the reward of land dependent on your skin color, or perhaps wine and a bicycle as a thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. See, but that roaring tree calls for answers of injustices past and present. And though you may try to mask the truth or build skyscrapers over their bones, the roaring tree will always call for answers on behalf of the ones who cannot speak. I ain't a modern day slave. I won't bend when you say, I won't jump when you say, I won't sing when you say. We are the Black architects, the history makers of our time. We shape our own destinies. We are young and we are free. Oh.
Woo! Unmute your mics. Oh my goodness, I can listen to
Amazing.
your voice all night. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Sounds dope as hell.
I love that. Love that. Awesome. Okay.
Hold on. Mr. Best actually put his camera on to give me his snaps. Like, I'm gonna take that. That is, I've never ever seen his camera on, never. Thank you.
That's what's up, man. I love the love and support in the room. So important. But
Mhm.
poet community is everything. Here we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, here we go. Okay. So we have one of our poets back again on the mic. Miss Rita, are you ready?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
the mic is yours.
thank you. Okay, so for Poetry Month, I did the 30 and 30. And one of the pieces that I did that month really meant so much to me. I don't even feel like it's finished yet, but I'm trying to make it finished so that it could go into my upcoming book. And I'm going to do it for the first time. So let's see how it goes. All right. It's called Sacrificial Sunset. He scribbled suicide notes in stardust, hiding them in the lonely corners of the sky. The world may require explanations when they notice he didn't show up to work. Maybe no one ever notices. The brightest star in their galaxy is burning out until it is too late. The brilliant blaze of his light brought others out of darkness, so no one would surmise that his home was burning down. No one questions the lifespan of a star. They admire it from a distance, profiting from its existence, trying never to look directly at it. When everyone else slept, he just watched the world turn, always missing the moon, not knowing she's still reflecting his light. Supernova can come for any of us. The rule is the more massive the star, the faster it burns up. That's how depression lurks. The strongest beam can still be easily bent. The brightest light casts the darkest shadows. He sat that night by the western coast as he did to greet every evening, watching the world change color, usually fighting to stay above water. But in the dimness of that final dusk, he resolved to just let go. And that's that piece.
I love all those metaphors. That was beautiful, Rita. Thank you. Yes, and yes. My God, it's just been such a lovely night. I love such good vibes. So important. Because 2023 has been shit. But now in the poetry world, I see all of you guys and gals and poets doing so much while living like your best regular lives. And that's not easy, right? Because we can't all poet for a living. I mean, shit, we'd love to, but damn, the light bill has to get paid and gas apparently. But yeah, on to bigger and better things. I want you all to follow each other if you're not already. We have very exciting events coming through. I hear that some people from the East Coast are gonna come visit the West Coast. We're not gonna gang bang. We're gonna do a show together. I want to make sure Miss Stacy promotes anything that's upcoming for Tesoro or in her dreams and hopes that it will be manifested. And let's take it from there. If anybody has anything they want to announce, this is a time to do so. Miss Stacy.
Right now, Tesoro is getting ready for what is going to be our first major event on the ground. We have been asked to do a Tesoro takeover for the Sims Library in Los Angeles. So, you know, if you're not in town and you're Tesoro, hop a plane, get a train, find a
Private
boat,
jet. What do
whatever,
you have? God.
because we are going to take Sims by storm because we're Tesoro women and we really don't know how to do it any other way. Coming a little bit further on down the pike, we have the one, the only incomparable Ray Jane featuring on our Woman Heart edition open mic. And that will be just in a few weeks here. Keep your eyes open for those announcements. We have, Lord, so much coming up and so much going on. Please make sure to visit our website, which is www.firesingers.com. That will keep you au courant on what it is that we are up to, or at least the legal part of what we're, willing to throw out there. And then if you're interested in aiding our flow, especially the flow for the poet tonight, who got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be here, please go ahead and donate at PayPal, poetswind@hotmail.com. It's in the chat. 90% of everything that you donate goes to the artists because artists need to get paid. 10% comes back to Tesoro so we can keep the lights on. 3 of our leading lights, Maureen Medina, Finn Bell, and one of our newest members, Linda Ty, will be in. Actually, Lacan, you're on that show. I'm going to let you tell about what's going on tomorrow.
Oh, oh yeah. Tomorrow will be a celebration of Asian American heritage, and it's going, yes, and it's going to be gosh, I don't know the PST, but I know the EST because it's the reverse of Manila. 6 p.m. New York, EST, and Keith will be hosting with Finn. There will be a lot of great, powerful, inspiring poets who will be in that show, and just celebrating our culture and our heritage, and imparting that to other people to spread the love, And you can check it out on Eventbrite. Go to Finn Bell's page on Eventbrite, and it's right there. I can drop also the link on the chat. Thank you so much.
For those of you who have not yet been to Jane's spoken word jams, her jam room, it's 4 poets just trading bars back and forth, and it is the hottest place to be on the planet. No joke. She is doing one of those shows on the 23rd. Again, check our website for the details. She usually posts the link the night before. I'll get it out as soon as I can. But if you just want to see poetry in the wild, the way it's supposed to be done, this is the room you need to be in. It's not an open mic. Like I said, it's just 4 poets at a time, just trading bars back and forth. And it is like nothing that anyone on this grid has ever seen. I promise you, you should be there.
Thank you, Miss Stacy. Let me see. I have tried to avoid people a lot, but if you're in LA on May 28th, I will be at, I think it's North Hollywood. Anyways, we are doing a celebration in anniversary form of the book, Always Running. And it is by a great author. And one of the reasons that this little Mexican decided to keep her scribbles. So I might faint on the mic. I don't know. But me and a couple of other dope poets are gonna perform at that festival. And you can follow LA Poet Society. They're promoting it, and I'm sure I'll push it on Instagram also. Thank you, everyone. Oh my goodness. I feel like I can breathe again. Thank you, everyone. Open your mics. Give each other so much love. Thank you for hosting, Miss Stacy. Thank you, Miss Kimberly, for waking up and waking us up. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. So much love. I hope to see you at all your events or mics. Buenas noches.
Oh, and there's some
Bye-bye.
copies that are gonna leave next week. There's a good friend of mine that's that stays out in the US that's visiting in South Africa for the next few weeks. So he's going to be coming back with about 5 or 6 I think of the last copies, signed copies out to the US. They'll be sent to Marissa. I don't know if she can hear, if she's here.
I love that. And here is the book. It's so beautiful. I love the cover. And you know, you already heard Kimberly. I mean, if I could just have Kimberly just put her audio in here and I can just push the button, that would be great. But for now, I can just imagine.
It's coming. There's also some things released on YouTube. So YouTube I'll always be releasing some new things because we're in studio every day. So there'll be new recordings released every day. So if you want to see something that's coming up, it'll either be on my IG or it'll be on YouTube. But every week, because Africa Day is next week as well. We also got a big event that's happening out here to celebrate that. And a few other events that are coming up in next week. But just be on the lookout for pieces that'll be released on YouTube, and there will be more audios that will come out.
I love that. I will share that to death. And then follow her Instagram. She can be found at Kimberly Anderson. She has a little KMA after it, and I'm pretty sure her picture's on there, so you can't miss it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night or good morning or good day wherever you are. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.
Be blessed.